Wonderful. By doing devotional service, Mamchayo Avyabicharena means with at all circumstances, without fail. Right? Unalloyed devotional service, one can get above the modes of material nature. Okay, so now we are in the 15th chapter. The one important Kahoot question is, you can guess what will be the first Kahoot question?
The last shloka.
The last shloka. Okay, I didn't put the last shloka, but what would be another standard question? We are starting a new chapter. That's a clue.
Can I try, Mataji?
Yes, Prala.
The question may be about like Sri Bhagavan Vacha Udamulam Alashakam Ashwatam Prahuravyam, and then you have to fill in the rest, like Chandam Syasya Parnani, you have to fill in it.
Yeah, that's what he said too, Divyansh. Okay, no, that's not it.
What's the name of the chapter?
Wonderful, Varun. Yes, you're right. So what is the name of the 15th chapter? I forgot to put this here. But you can Google
Purushottam Yoga.
Purushottam Yoga. That's in Sanskrit. What is it in English, Mukund?
The Yoga of the Supreme Person.
Yes, very good, Varun. The Yoga of the Supreme Person. So we are going to learn in depth about the Supreme Person. So this is the first shloka. Shri Bhagavanuvacha. Can everyone repeat? Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Urdhvamulam adhashakam.
Urdhvamulam adhashakam.
Urdhvamulam adhashakam.
Urdhvamulam adhashakam.
Urdhvamulam adhashakam.
Urdhvamulam adhashakam.
Very good. Okay, next line. Ashwatam prahur avyayam.
Ashwatham prahur avyayam.
Ashwatam prahur avyayam.
Ashwatham prahuravayam.
Ashwatam prahuravyayam.
Ashwatham prahuravayam.
Chandamsi yasya parnani.
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 Yastam veda sa vedavit.
Yastam
Veda Savedavit.
Yastam veda sa vedavit.
Yastam veda savedavit.
Yastam veda sa vedavit.
Yastam veda
Savedavit.
Okay, good job. Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Urdhvamulam adhashakam.
Urdhvamulam
Ashwatam prahuravyayam.
Ashwatham prahuravayam.
Chandamsi yasya parnani.
Chandamsi yasya parnani.
Yastam veda sa vedavit.
Yastam
Vedasavedavid.
Okay, who can say the shloka? Who wants to try?
Can Mukund go?
Mukund.
Can go, Divyan.
Okay,
Yes,
Mataji.
first Mukund.
Okay, Mataji. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Urdhvamulam Madhashakam Nashvatam Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavid. Thank you, Mataji.
Perfect, Mukund. Thank you. Next, Tulasi Manjari.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Urdhvamulam Madashakam Ashvatham Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavit. Thank you, Mataji.
Wonderful. Thank you. Prahlad. And then Divyansh.
Urdhvamulam madashakam ashvatam prahuravyayam chandamsi yasya parnani yastam veda savedavid.
Thank you, Prahlad. Divyansh. And then Varun.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Urdhva Mulam Adhasakam Aswatham Prabhu Avyam Chandam Si Yasya Pardani Yastam Veda Savedi Vedavid.
Perfect, Divyansh. Thank you. Varun.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Urdhamula Madashakam Ashwatam Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani.
Wonderful, Varun. Very good. Okay. So let's do the synonyms. He. What does he in Sanskrit mean? Who can answer? I'm telling you in English, you need to find out the Sanskrit word. He.
Saha.
Good job, Divyansh and Tulsi Manjari. That.
Tam.
Good job,
Tam.
Shaurya. Anyone who.
Yeah.
Good job, Shaurya. With roots above.
Urdhvamulam.
Urdhvamulam.
Very good. The leaves.
Parnani.
Good job. Eternal.
Avyayam.
Good job,
Avyayam.
Divyansh. A banyan tree.
Ashwatam.
Good job, Prahlad. Downwards.
Adha.
Good job, Divyansh. Of which.
Yasya.
Yasya.
Good job, Tulsi Manjari. The knower of the Vedas.
With.
Chanda.
Good job, Shaurya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Bhagavanuvacha.
Good job, Mukund. Branches.
Shakham.
Shakham.
Good job, Shaurya. Is said.
Prahu.
Good job, Divyansh. Okay, now let's go. I'm going to read that line and you need to tell me in English what that line means. Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
The Supreme
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said.
Good job, Divyan, Shaurya, and Tulsi Manjari. Urdhva Moolam Adha Shakam.
With roots of
with the roots above
branches.
the downwards to the branches.
Yes, the roots are up and the branches are down. Ashwatam Prahuravyayam.
A banyan tree is said eternal.
Okay, so this banyan tree is said to be eternal. Okay, Chandamsi Yasya Parnani.
The
Vedic hymns of which the leaves.
Okay, the leaves of this tree is representing the Vedic hymns. Yastam Vedasa Vedavit.
Anyone
Anyone
who
who
knows
Who
he
knows
the
that
knower of the
knows
Vedas.
he
the Vedas.
the knower of the Vedas.
Okay. Good job, everyone. So translation. Shaurya, can you read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "It is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas."
Thank you. That's so nice to hear you. You're a very good reader. Okay. So
Thank you, Mataji.
say true or false. This banyan tree is perishable.
No, false.
False.
Okay. This banyan tree has its root downwards and branches upward.
False.
False.
Correct the sentence.
The banyan tree has
Banyan
its
trees
roots
have
upward and its
Banyan
branches
tree
downward.
has the roots upward and branches and leaves downward.
Yeah, branches.
Okay. So the leaves are material desires. Is that right?
False.
Good, Mukund. So then correct the
False.
sentence.
The leaves are the Vedic hymns.
Good job, Mukund. Okay. By knowing this tree, one gets entangled more and more.
False.
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 Okay, good job. So by knowing this tree, one knows what?
The Vedas.
The
The Vedas. Okay, so let's see. Krishna has described a tree that is upside down. So where do you see the tree which is upside down?
In the water, in the reflection.
The reflection. Did you see here? The tree is here and then it's reflected nicely in the lake. And then if you see this tree, we see the branches and the leaves down. And then in the top is the roots, right? Okay, so what is a real tree represents and what is a reflected tree represent?
The real, they are material world and spiritual world.
Very good. So the real tree represents the material world. Is that right?
No, it represents spiritual world.
Good job, Mukund. So
And
the
then the
real
reflection on the water is the material world.
good job, Varun. So the main tree is the spiritual world, and the tree that is reflected is the material world. Suppose there is no water here. Will that be? Can you see the reflected tree?
No,
Yes.
without the spiritual world, there's no material world.
Okay. So because of water, there is reflection which is compared to the material tree. So what is this water compared to?
Is it Maya?
No, the answer is here. You need to find the answer from this, words here.
Desire.
Wonderful, Tulasi Manjari. Did you answer?
Yes, Mataji.
Good job. Yes. So desire. So because of desire, we have this whole material world and existence. So the lake is equal to or equivalent to one's material desire, because the material desire is so strong. We want to continue being in this reflected tree. Okay, another question. Suppose imagine this tree is apple tree and the tree is filled with so many apples. Okay, and then there is a fish. The fish is going and is seeing so many apples here, and the fish thinks, wow, what is this? Let me go and get the apple. Will the fish be able to get the apple?
No, it won't be able to get it because it's just a reflection.
Very good, Mukund. Yes. So the real pleasure for the soul is there in the spiritual world. But whatever
Mataji,
the yes,
I'm sorry for interrupting, but I understood from this that the fish is us and we want the apples. The apples is happiness. But the happiness, because we are only in we can only see the perverted reflection. We only see the reflection of the apples, so we can't get real happiness. But the real happiness only we can only get it by going to the spiritual world and by serving the Lord.
wow, you finished the whole text, Mukund. That's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Yes. So the point is, in the reflected world, the problem is whatever the things appear to be, they're not actually it. Right? The apple appears to be so glossy, so nice, but then when we go and take it, there is no apple there. So that is very beautiful. So, and one more thing, the reflected world, what it shows, there is variety, right? There are many branches, there are leaves, there are fruits, there are flowers. So what shows is that in spiritual world also the same variety is there. It is not that the spiritual world is only light and there is no variety. Everybody goes and merges into the light and becomes light. And always is light. Do you like to go there? Where you become light and then
No, it's very bad. You burst your eyes.
not like that. This is a spiritual light, and that is good, and that is so much happiness there because there is no material suffering, but there is no activity, there is no active service with relationship with Krishna. So
You can't
that's why
serve Krishna, and that's why, and because there's no activity, you can't serve Krishna, nor can you do sins to go back to material world. So you're just stuck there forever.
right, Mukund, yes. So you don't know, so maybe someone may come by in the Brahma Jyoti and give us some pure association, and then we might go to Paramatma realization and then Bhagavan realization, but it's very hard, right? So that's why Srila Prabhupada says that forget merging in the Brahma Jyoti now only. Always desire to serve Krishna in the spiritual world. Okay, let's see more about this tree. Okay, Mukund, can you read the slide?
Yes, Mataji. For one who is engaged in fruitive activities, there is no end to the banyan tree. He wanders from one branch to another, to another, to another. The Vedic hymns meant for elevating oneself are called the leaves of this tree. This tree's roots grow upward because they begin from where Brahma is located, the topmost planet of this universe. If one can understand this indestructible tree of illusion, then one can get out of it.
Thank you, Mukund. So, Varun, name the fruits of this tree from this picture. Can you name the fruits?
Okay. So there's the sense objects.
No, the fruits.
The name of them?
Here you see the names are given there.
Yeah. There's religiosity, economic development, sense gratification.
And here is one. The one on the top. Liberation. Very good. Thank you, Varun. So these are
Can I
the.
say one thing?
Yes, Mukund.
From these branches, I remember that in Bhagavad Gita, there's a shloka in the second chapter, 2.41. Vyavasayatmika buddhe kya karanandana bhavashakaya nantascha buddheya vyavasayanam. And it says that that
Yes,
those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. So like the material world's people who are into sense gratification, their intelligence is branched, and this is what the picture shows.
Wonderful, Mukund. That's a very nice, connection you made. Great. So many branched. So that means we wander from one branch to another branch to another. You see, in the lower branches, there are animals and human beings. And in the upper branches, there are demigods. So that means when we move from one branch to another branch, that means we move from one body to another body in different species of lives. Sometimes we move in the lower branches, sometimes we move in the upper branches. That means we may become a demigod or somebody in the celestial being. Then again we'll become a human being or animals. Then again we may become demigod. So like that, it goes. So that's why if we have material desire to experience so many things, then we go from, okay, this branch is good, okay, let me try to this branch, then go to this branch, then what about this branch, then let me come here, then let me go here, you become a deer, then you become a human being. There is no end. And the leaves or the Vedic hymns means just like the leaf give the fruit to the tree. So the Vedas say, okay, to get this desire, you do this yajna, and you'll become a demigod like this. You can enjoy like this. So we seek enjoyment from Vedas, whatever the Vedas say, then we keep on continuing to go. And the route is upward because the topmost planet is Brahma's, and from there only everything starts. So why Krishna is explaining this? Krishna is explaining this to show how complexly we have entangled ourselves in this material world. So if we understand this, then we can get out of it. Okay. So yeah, this is what we read. Who wants to read this? Any volunteers to read this?
Mataji, can I read?
Yes, Tulsi.
Is the root of this material existence grows upward. This means that it begins from the total material substance from the topmost planet of the universe. From there, the whole universe is expanded with so many branches representing the various planetary systems. The fruits represent the results of the living entity's activities, namely religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. One who is attracted by the ritualistic formulas of the Vedas is attracted by the beautiful green leaves of the tree. He does not exactly know the purpose of the Vedas. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Tulasi. So this is what we discussed last slide also. So how that, the top of the branches represents so many branches. The so many branches represent so many planetary systems, and there are different species. And then the fruits, as Varun read, that means we only seek a religion, means religion in the name of materialistic religion, that I want this, so I perform this yajna. Then economic development, that means let me be situated very nicely with lot of money, and with economic development I can enjoy senses very nicely. I can get Xbox and Wii and what is that, console 5 and so many things, so that I can always play games. And then there is liberation, means after all this, it doesn't satisfy us. How many hour times you play, you can play video games, it's good, but then after some time it's disgusting. You can watch videos, Pokemon and so many other things, and finally after some time it becomes boring. So then people want liberation. Okay, I want liberation. That means go to Brahma Jyoti. So these 4 are considered to be the fruits of this tree. Okay, let's see. So, and then as we saw that the green leaves mention Vedas. If we don't know the purpose of the Vedas, but we take the different things from the Vedas, then we get stuck in various parts of this tree. Okay, anyone else who wants to read this? Who wants to read? Varun.
Okay, Mataji. Its branches spread in all directions. In the lower parts, there are variegated manifestations of living entities, human beings, animals, horses, cows, dogs, cats, etc. These are situated on the lower parts of the branches, whereas on the upper parts are higher forms of living entities. As a tree is nourished by water, so this tree is nourished by the three modes of material nature. The tips of the branches are the senses, etc., which are attached to the enjoyment of different sense objects. The twigs are sound, form, touch, and so on the sense objects.
Thank you, Varun. So how we discussed, right? Different types of bodies. Some are lower. The lower branches means they don't have much consciousness like the animals and the human beings. But those in the upper forms, they have more elevated consciousness. And then one important thing is this tree is nourished by water. What is the water that nourishes this tree? Not the water in the lake, but the water that nourishes this tree. What is that compared to? Oops, no one knows the answer. I'm missing
Could you
Sevia
repeat the
Para.
question, please?
Okay, so what is the water that is poured to this tree to nourish this tree compared to? Benita?
You mean where around in the reflection?
No, the reflection water is different. That we saw it is material desire, right? But this, the water that is poured at the root of this tree.
Three modes of material nature.
Yes, Shaurya, it's three modes of material nature. Because as long as we are in the three modes of material nature, we are keep on extending our excursion in this tree. Okay, so the tips of the branches or the senses and the twigs, the tips of the branches, from that comes the twigs. The twigs are sense objects, like for sound, ear, we have sound. For eyes, we have form. For skin, we have touch, and so on. Right? So the branches, the tips of the branches are senses, and then the senses are always run towards the sense objects. So that is what is present here. And then there is one other important concept in this. Who can read this? Who has not read so far? Prahalad, can you read?
Okay, Mataji. If Brahman is the center of all manifestations, then this material world is a manifestation of the center by 180 degrees, and the other 180 degrees constitute the spiritual world. This, should I read all of it?
Yes, continue.
The material world is the perfected reflection. So the spiritual world must have the same variegatedness. The reflection is temporary, for sometimes is seen and sometimes is not seen. But the origin from where the reflection is reflected is eternal.
Okay, so you see 180 degree, for those who learned the angles, what is 180 degree?
It's a triangle.
It's a straight line, Mataji.
It's a straight line. Yoshita, welcome. Nice to see you, Yoshita. Thank you for joining. Okay, so this is a straight line, right? 180 degrees is a straight line. So the material world is a reflected portion and the spiritual world is 180 degree up above. So as we discussed, it is not just light. Because there is variety in the material world, spiritual world, it is reflected in the material world, right? Just like if there is no something, if there are no apples in the real tree, will we get apples in the reflected tree? No, we don't get. So when we see varieties in the material world, the reflected tree, that means there are varieties in the spiritual world. But what's the difference between the material world and the spiritual world? From this points here, you need to tell me one difference. Anyone? The difference is in here, in these 3 points.
Mataji, the difference is that material world has miseries and 3 modes of material nature and not true happiness, and spiritual world has true happiness and it does not have any miseries and no distresses.
Wonderful. That's the right answer. I agree that, but I want the answer from this, from the points here. What you said is right, but I'm looking for the answer from this, from these points.
Mataji, the spiritual world, it is permanent and the material world is temporary.
Very
And
good. Very good. Yes. So see, the reflection is temporary, for it is sometimes seen and sometimes not seen. But the origin where the reflection is reflected is eternal. Okay. So the last one, who wants to read this? Anita, do you want to read this?
Sure, Mataji.
This one, the subsidiary roots.
Okay. The subsidiary roots are attachment and aversions, which are byproducts of different varieties of suffering and sense enjoyment. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the original root from whom everything has emanated. To gain the favor of that personality of Godhead, one has only to surrender, and this in a result of performing devotional service by hearing, chanting, etc. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Vinita. So, see, the subsidiary roots means if you see the banyan tree, apart from the main root, there are some roots that are falling down from the branches, and then they go to the, they reach the ground, and then they become the roots inside. So they are called subsidiary roots, and that is suffering and sense enjoyment. Means sometimes we do good activities, then their results we enjoy, but then sometimes we do bad activities and the result is we suffer. But the root of everyone, the original root from whom everything is emanated, is Lord Krishna. So how to get out of this tree which is entangling us like anything, and then we are so captivated, we keep on moving from one branch to another branch, and then the 3 modes of material nature is very hard to overcome. So what to do, how to go beyond this? From this answer, from these points here. Aditya Kasturi.
Mataji, what?
What is the method by which we can get out of this illusory tree?
Pious act.
No, I'm sorry, it's not pious acts. Yoshita, do you want to try?
Surrender to the personality of Godhead.
Wonderful, Yoshita. Yes. So surrender to the personality of Godhead, because Krishna is here. Once you surrender, then we can cross over this. Only when we surrender, we can get out of it. Otherwise, it's not possible. And surrender means doing devotional service by hearing and chanting. Okay, so we saw a big tree and a lot of things about the tree. So this is a shloka again. So we saw the reflected tree, the lake water on which the tree is reflected is desire. The reflected tree represents material world. The real tree represents spiritual world. And how the leaves represent Vedic hymns, and then if we are attracted only to the green leaves, and we keep on going from one branch to another branch, it is nourished by the three modes of material nature. The upper branches have higher living entities. The lower branches denote the lower forms of living entities. And the material world is a reflection. The spiritual world, we have fully varieties of enjoyment, and it is eternal. And only by surrender, we can overcome this. Okay, are you all ready for Kahoot? Do you want Kahoot? Yes or no? I think no one is interested in the Kahoot. No one?
Mataji, I'm interested.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see. I'm going to share the Kahoot now. What happened? I'm opening. It's a very simple Kahoot. It's quite very easy, but you need to pay attention. Okay, so let us play.
Okay, Mataji. Mataji, I'm joining.
I can't see your screen, Mataji.
Yeah, I'm just. Okay, so the game pin is 9339961. Nine 9961. Muku the mango. That's a nice name.
That's me,
Divyan
Mataji.
Shaurya. I know. Yoshi, Aditya Kasturi is there. Varun has not joined. Waiting for Prahlad, Varun. Vikyat didn't come today. That's it. Everyone has joined. Tulasi Manjari.
I actually don't know how to do this, so.
Oh, okay. You can go to kahoot.it and then log in the game pin. If you just open in another tab or another device, kahoot.it, and then you can put the game pin.
Oh,
And then you'll be ready to play. What happened to Varun? You didn't join Varun the carrot? Everyone,
he joined, but only Varun. Oh, now he
Yes.
did, Varun the carrot.
Okay. So
Yes,
can we
I
start?
joined.
Tulsi Manjari, did you get it? How to do that?
Yes, I did it.
Okay, you're there, Tulasi. Okay, good job. So we are going to start. So first question. It's a quiz question and it's a multi-select. The title of the 15th chapter is multi-select, remember. Six and five. You got the right answers. Yes, it's Purushottama Yoga or the Yoga of the Supreme Person. I told you it'll be a bit confusing. The choices are. Mukku the mango is leading the scoreboard with Vinita, Varun, Aditya, and Yoshi. Okay, the real tree is blank. The reflected tree is blank. See the choices carefully. Eight of you got it right. Yes, spiritual world and material world. Okay, Varun the carrot has come up, followed by Vinita, Aditya, and Yoshita. Where's okay, so the third question is the leaves of this tree are
It's very laggy for me.
oh. The leaves of this tree are Vedic hymns. Yes, 8 people have got it right. So Mukku is the mango is leading, followed by Vinita, Varun, Aditya, and Yoshita. Okay, the next question is fourth one. Water on which the tree is reflected is compared to the water on which the tree is reflected means the water of the lake. Good job. Oh, yeah, that's material desire, right? We saw, right? Maybe a bit confusing, but the lake water is compared to material desire. Aditya K has come up, and then Pray the winner is there in the scoreboard. Okay, the next one, fifth question. It's a multi-select. The lower branches represents multi-select, remember. Yes, it's human beings and animals. The lower planets is little misleading because basically it's the lives, right? Although it looks so close to the correct answer, it looks little misleading. Welcome Tulasi into the scoreboard. Aditya K is leading now. Okay, the next question. The water that nourishes the tree is the water that nourishes the tree, not the water on the lake. Five of you got it right. Yes, it is Sattva, Rajas, and Thomas. Tulasi is in the third place. Okay, we'll go to the next. Aditya K and Vinita. Seventh question is a true or false. Lord Brahma is the original root from whom everything emanated. 8 people have got it right. It is false. Yes. Who is the original root? That is Krishna. So Aditya is leading the scoreboard. Okay, let's go to the next question. True or false? One should continue to travel to the various branches of the tree.
It's true.
Should one continue to travel to the various branches of the tree? Is that what the shloka is saying? Think
It's
properly. Yes, 8 of you answered right. That's right. Welcome. Mango. Okay, Aditya K leads the scoreboard, followed by Vinita and Tulasi. Okay, 9 out of 10. By studying this illusory tree, one gets entangled more in it. Yes, by studying this illusory tree, one doesn't get entangled in it. What's the
Yes.
purpose of Krishna describing it, right? So that we will get out of it. Okay, so Vinita is leading, Aditya, Mukund, Prahlad, and Tulasi. Okay, the next question, 10th question. By what one can get detached from this illusory tree? One process by which one can get out of this illusory tree.
It's austerity and penances.
Yes, 6 of you got it right. It is surrender to Krishna. Okay, so let's see in the podium. 3rd place is Aditya K. 2nd place is Muku the Mango. The 1st place is Vinita. Good job, Vinita. You joined first time today and good job. Runners up are Pray and oops, I didn't see. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. So we learned about the tree. Okay. Okay, so do you have any questions? Okay, if not, this will be the memorization shloka for this week, and we will again meet again next Monday, Krishna willing. Thank you all so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. So let's all pay our obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhobhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Vinita
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Bye.